Oh, let's mute yourself there. So, can you? Okay, got a little bit of feedback. It go away here in a second. All right. So the idea is I use your money, your cash, because hard money lenders are not giving us cash to go to the auction. They'll give us the money as soon as we get the property out of the auction, like same day, right? But and there's all kinds of properties out here to buy. I can go door to door, have been going door to door. We call everybody from for rent signs to expired listings, all different types of stuff. But I want to focus on the foreclosure right now. So we go to Smith County and we pull up the property. We take the prime lien number, that's the court docket number, and we put it in this fancy little Excel spreadsheet, and then it automatically starts spitting out the other numbers that are appearing here. Like this one right here at 208, it has a seven, and then all the fees are going to be about the same. So we just kind of run the fees down a little bit exaggerated at $7,000. The opening bid by this number, by this number is calculated. This number is calculated by the first number of what the opening bid is. And then the CAD market, this number is calculated by this number. And then we put in what realtor.com says that the property will retail at. And then it gives us an estimation of what our max bid is and what our aggressive bid could be. All the way down to what our low profit would be, what the high equity, low equity, and as you see, all the equity marks in here are the same, 32.7. Ours, we're really not using 32.7. We're more in the line of 50, right? We kind of swagger jacked this Excel spreadsheet, but it's perfect. It works excellent. But it gives you a low profit and a high profit. It also gives you a repair list, and this is all calculated from what the year of the home's built in, right? So it's a fairly elaborate Excel spreadsheet, but there again, it is just an Excel spreadsheet. If the numbers work out on this Excel spreadsheet, and also if they work out on our so if the numbers work out on the Excel spreadsheet, then we take it to a cash flow sheet. The cash flow sheet is the next sheet after the Excel spreadsheet. And this gets a little more personal to the property and our knowledge, our understanding, more research that we can go into the property with. So if it clicks off the Excel spreadsheet, yes, that looks good. Then we go to what's called rent-a-meter, and we find out what the rent in that area is. Then we
Well,
look
hang
up
on.
what the
I got a
taxes and on.
quick question for you.
Come on.
Maybe I lost you here. Your initial deal is you just want the money of whatever, 100,000. Hey, here's the 100,000. You buy what you buy. Within 30 days, we're getting 110,000 back. Are we rent like I guess do I need to know what we're renting for, or are you wanting us to hold this? Are we owning the
Okay,
house
my bad.
while
My
you
bad.
do it?
What?
I guess I'm seeing a little bit of overlap that I'm not understanding.
Yeah, so it's fairly simple. Let me just lay it out to you. I want to borrow your money, go to the auction, buy a property, and then within a very short period of time, give it back to you at 10%.
Right. Okay. So then I guess where does the rent and everything relative to me? Because I'm
The
assuming
reason I'm
once you give
showing
the
you
money
all
back,
that,
you're kind of done with us, right?
well, the reason I'm showing you all that is because before I borrow your money, I want to make sure that you understand that you're that we have securities going on. We've got checks and balances. I'm not just coming to you and saying, Tanner, hey man, you got 100 grand, and you go, I just don't lend out $100,000. What are you doing? And I'm just trying to show you what we
Gotcha.
do to so that I can. And every time I come to you for money, I'm gonna have basically files sent to you. This is what I'm bidding on, and this is my security that it's a good property. I'm
Gotcha.
not just getting locked up somewhere with a bunch of properties, and then all of a sudden I can't give Tanner his money back.
So are you holding all of them for rent or are you flipping some? Or is it just
I'm
kind of
I'm
depend
I am
depend?
wholesaling everything in 2026.
Okay, so your plan is use the cash to buy it, and wholesale with these numbers to whoever wants to
Yes,
buy it.
exactly. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. And I guess the reason, and not guess, the reason I'm showing you this is so that you understand the depth of what we're doing and researching to get to these properties.
Yeah, I get it now. I understand why it's coming in. It just seemed like you were, yeah, I follow.
But there again, if you wanted to be an investor and a buyer, that's possible as well because you can always go, hey, Shelby, yeah, that's a great property. Matter of fact, here's the 300,000 to go get that $700,000 property. Give me my 330 back and then sell me the property. I want that property. We can always do that as well. Tanner,
Yeah,
we
I don't
have
know.
the
I know me and him probably, we've done, or I've done enough residential. I don't want to own any more residential. I mean, there's money in it by all means, but all my money is now tied up in residential, which I got to pull it out of for any investment. Um, but the market's not growing like it was. You know, when I first invested, that was right after the or during the boom when everyone was buying and rates were jumping. Commercials more where we would be if we were going to invest and own the property itself. We would
well,
want more
I
commercial
have
or multifamily.
I have two or three commercial properties that we're working on basically wholesaling. And I'll present those to you here in a little bit. But or I've got one I can present to you. I need to get presentation on two others. One is in Tyler, and one is in Waxahachie. Another one in around Dallas. But one is a 40 unit apartment complex. The gentleman wants 1.9 for it,
Yeah, I think
and
we've talked about this one. We're still waiting on
yeah,
them to get back with all the
yeah. I'm just still waiting on him to get back,
paperwork.
and he should give me the T12 and all that hopefully tomorrow. And
Okay.
as soon as I get that to you, but so the purpose of what I'm reaching out to do, our goal is to be able to utilize $1 million a month at the auction. That's not including the other properties and goals that we have to purchase other properties. Between us, we are able to basically not control, research 6 to 10 counties. And some of those counties are really small. We're not going into Tarrant County. We're not going into Dallas. We're focusing on Johnson and Parker and smaller counties.
We have the capability of the whole state.
Oh, yeah, we have the capability to do the whole state.
And other states.
And our goal is to, like Gina and I are the only ones that are buying right now. We have another gentleman that we're training to be a buyer as well. So eventually we'll have 3 buyers, and then we'll continue to grow. But right now we can buy every month in 2 counties. So for you, I'm not sure how much money you're thinking here, but let's let me show you what we did with Schaefer. So Schaefer Schaefer was a prime property. I went and knocked on the door of Schaefer.
Explaining this success rate that you had also.
I will. Yes. So I after so the gentleman he sent pictures of Schaefer Lane, and I went and knocked on the door, left my card. He called me. The house was just about to go into foreclosure. I pulled some pictures up from Earth View. The gentleman also sent me interior pictures of the house. So I was trying to get this property off of the auction list by going to the the finance company, the mortgage company. He sent me about 40 different pictures. I had a pretty good understanding of what's going on with this. Then I drove back down to to the area and had the gentleman sign a contract to basically sell us the house at 140,000. His payoff was 135,000. This would have gave him $5,000 out the door, but we were not successful in getting the finance company to stop the foreclosure. Then we went to foreclosure. I went to Tyler Tuesday, and we bid on this house. It was I stopped the bidding at 95,000. It was purchased for $100,000. This house retails on Zillow, and the comps on it were were anywhere between 200 and 272. It actually comes in about 240. So my idea would be to purchase this property at that $100,000, and then resell the property at $140,000. Get your $10,000 back to you. We profit 30,000, and then we leave almost 100,000 because it needed work. It sucker needed a roof. It needed interior work. If you were going to buy this, you'd be like, I need 60,000 to put into it just to get it on the market. And then that buyer needs to make some profit as well. And so if that's just one property as an example of the hundreds that are on, that are being listed every month, these are the properties that we went to last month. Now, not every property on here has that type of spread, but these properties, if it's selling for uh, the auction at 208, let's see, let's find a good one here. Here's one at a million one, and there's $800,000 spread. Actually, I went to that one. I really would like to have a U-Haul truck when they put all the furniture out on the curb. I was up there in the window with my little flashlight looking, man. It's full of furniture, had a Porsche in the garage. I don't know what happened there, but either way, my point is we could do this each and every month. Your money could make 10%, not a year, a month, every month. And I am able to give you very quickly and with somewhat precision of why we're buying the property, what property we're buying, and then it's still an open conversation, of how you would want to do that.
Yeah. So how do you see into the money as far as whatever, if it's 100, 300, 4, 5, whatever it is? Is it just sitting in an account? Are we guaranteed to use this? Because what my curiosity comes into, if 100,000 just sits into an account, and it doesn't get used for a month, we've now lowered our numbers. And if it doesn't get used for another month, we've now lowered the numbers. Is this account something you're only having access to, or are we going, hey, or are you coming to us saying, hey, we need a transfer of X amount? How do you see it going?
Okay, so there's so in we would need, great question. We would need your money in an account that you and I would only have access to. If we go to auction and we're in two different counties and we do not buy anything, you're right. The money does not the we don't we basically, if we take the money out, we're going to put it right back in. If we use the money, then we'll get the money back to you, like I said, within that 30 days. But our aim is a lot quicker than that, because we should be able to turn these properties within, 7 to 14 days in wholesale process. But yes, you're right. And there very could be those months that we don't buy. But with the strategies that we've been using, we have found properties that we could purchase every month. And that's why we're staying out of the larger counties. The larger counties like Tarrant County, man, the cartels down there bidding on properties. And it's funny to sit there and watch them go back and forth. And they'll, and before the bid starts, they're all conglomerating about, oh, I got this one, and there's all kinds of things happening at these big counties. Smaller counties, there was 6 people there Tuesday, and only 2 of them were aggressive bidders, but there was only 6 properties. Or how many properties were there? Approximately
About 10.
10,
12,
10,
yeah.
10, 12 properties.
Under just auction.com.
And so there's there's a ton of potential, and what we want to do is buy every month. That's our focus, is to buy every month.
Yeah, I would hope. I think that's where everyone makes money is when you buy.
Yeah, well, and it's like, I spoke to one of the gentlemen there that bought the house that outbid me. I was like, "Hey, are you here? You buy every month?" I said, "You buy one every month?" He said, "Man, I try to buy two every." He said, "This one is for my son. He's 21, and this is his 13th property." So out of out of Johnson County, Parker County, there's a lot of counties, and I can only be in one auction personally. Gina can be in 2 auctions online. And then as we progress and we get Mike in a place where he can bid, Mike's somewhat like you and I. He has a very large understanding of building and costs and properties and values. We just hadn't got him to that place yet, but he'll be there soon, to that place where I can go, okay, now do you see what I'm saying about buy that property, but we can't go over this amount? Because and that's that thing where, with all our spreadsheets, all of our checks and balances, we know where to stop. We can't go any higher. If I could have went higher, if I had more money to put into this personally yesterday, I would have went up to 130,000 on that property. Where we are right now, I stopped at 95,000. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I had a limit, and I hadn't reached my limit. I reached my personal financial limit.
I follow. The only so much cash in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well, let me talk with him because you recorded this, right?
I did. Yes, I'll send it to
Yeah.
you.
I thought I saw the recording thing pop up. Because like I said, I got to get a house sold. Tired of dealing with it. There's just not enough return, in my opinion, in it, for what it is at this point. I've yeah, cashed out enough times. So let me see about selling it. No doubt it should sell for it's well maintained. Get with him, see how much he has, see what he thinks of it, and if he has any questions, we may reach out to you.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get some paperwork thought out, detailing and some securities in place or something. Because being the first rodeo with you, there's always a little nerves, always nervous the first time.
Sure. Absolutely.
Uh,
You got I don't know, you don't have my address, but I'll give it to you. And oh yeah, I did. I sent you my uh the thing is we don't want to do this with people we don't know either. I'm not trying to reach out to, 1,000 different folks that don't know me, because the only way I can do this is with people that we can trust and can trust us. Um, because when it comes right down to it, if I tell you I'm going to have your money back to you in 48 hours, and then the bank closes on me early or something, I may need 72. You know, there's so many people out there that just have it's just not good to do business with people that you can't look in the eye and go, I trust that you trust me, and we're going to do this together.
right.
It's yeah. I'm not out here trying to just wrangler up some money and go cheat people out of money. I literally want to do this long term, and we've had 1,000 properties drop into our lap, and we didn't go forward because we just didn't see the profit per door. But profit per door in this is radical.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there's BJ now. Yeah.
Let's see.
Same time.
Yeah, he texted me said he's running late. He got held up in another meeting.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Hey,
always
BJ,
late.
how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How
I'm
are
gonna
y'all?
step out just for a second and let Gina talk for a moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So
What
at
is
the
with your
same
camera?
time,
I don't know.
not just as an investor, but this can also work for you as on your end as far as offering properties, to anybody who was looking for specific properties, or if they're looking for investment opportunities as well, and however, that would be as far as you working with them or taking your commission or whatever on it. But it can work several different ways, so
Hey,
we're not
Gina.
looking to joint venture, of course, with anybody on gaining properties, like you said, for right now. For this whole year, we're just looking to wholesale them, and our audience would be, they're not going to be to residential homeowners. Our audience is going to be to fix and flippers, short, mid, long rental.
Hey, Gina. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to catch BJ up real quick, just kind of give him a summary so he can follow. So
Yeah.
the gist of it is what they're wanting is cash to sit in an account that they can go to the auctions to buy the house in cash, and within 30 days put the money back into the account plus 10%, 10% being the profit. And their main deal is to buy at the auction and then wholesale them out to whoever.
hmm
That's the very short summary of it.
So they want cash given so they can go into the auction to buy. And then when is the 10% return on that?
Within
Once
30
it's
days,
purchased within 30 days of taking the cash?
within 30 days of using the cash is what they're portraying right now. Is that correct, Gina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me add a few things with that, with the money, as far as money goes. For remote bidding or online bidding, you can actually wire the funds from your account into like the auction.com or Zome, their accounts, or provide proof of funds.
Hello, it's Tanner.
So when you say proof of funds, you just have to show that it's sitting in an account. It doesn't have to actually transfer.
Yes,
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 sir.
exactly. Yes, show proof of funds. And the transfer of funds has to be in the account 24 hours before the auction date.
Get that sent over to you.
Okay.
So another
The
way. That's
Reynolds
an
HVAC.
additional way.
Oh, for you? Yes, sir. We have it on the
Oh,
file.
geez. Tanner,
Oh,
What?
I didn't know if he was talking about you.
I can hear you. Walk away. Okay, I'm sorry. So, one more time. So, I'm assuming you two are the ones, apologies for being late to the meeting, but you two would be the one purchasing um, the, the real estate. And then the goal is, remind me one more time. So the goal is you would take this cash, whether it's sitting in proof of funds or cash in the account, and then y'all would go to the auction or wherever purchase, and then you're saying roughly within 30 days you'll refund what cash was used plus 10%.
Yes.
That's what you're projecting.
Yes.
How
Now the
often
big
are you planning on going to do the auctions? Like, or is this a fairly frequent? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? How do y'all do that?
once a month. It's the
Once a
first
month?
Tuesday of every month are when the auctions are. And
And
you
how
can
much?
be in person or remotely bidding.
And then how many do y'all anticipate to purchase within that monthly time frame?
So that great question. If we let me share this screen back again here. BJ, nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, introduction. Shelby had to step out. Shelby, this is my cousin BJ. BJ, this is Shelby.
Hey,
He's done
BJ.
some work for me in the past on the house and then some other things.
Mhm.
Long time. Yeah, been knowing your cuz there for a minute. So this is the auction sheet that of properties that we were currently looking at in October. This is an example. And so this is the price that is listed in the courts. When the court lists the property, this is the listing that comes out. Now they don't always start at this price. As a matter of fact, the one I was showing Tanner a moment ago was listed at 135, but started at 27,000.
Mhm.
And so we take this sheet, and then I go out, and this is a route. Then I go down this route, and before it goes to auction, I go knock on these people's doors and basically say, hey, I would like the opportunity to be able to purchase your home. We
Right.
have had authorization form signed, contract signed, from me going out and knocking on pre-foreclosure doors. Now, to get back to what your direct question was, is how many can we buy?
Mhm.
We have the opportunity right now for me to be at a auction in person, which for me to be in person, we would need the cashier's checks to be able to buy there. Gina can be at up to 2 auctions and they're all on the same day every month. So let me shut the door. So we have a team of 3 solid people, 5 altogether, that are researching these counties: Smith County, Johnson County, Hood County, Parker County, several counties. So as we find the properties, and if they clear this Excel spreadsheet that you have here, that I have here, then we take them through some other processes, and then we'll know which ones that we're going to bid on. So it could be we could be bidding on 3 per county. We could be bidding on 1. We could be bidding on 5. It's just going
Mhm.
to depend on what the spread comes out to be on these properties. If the spread does not allow me to be able to sell to our buyer pool and our buyer pool make money, so I'm going to come to BJ. BJ, you want to buy a property? Great. What are you looking for? I'm looking for this area, and I'm looking for 3 bedroom, 2 bath, something in that range. Send me some properties. Okay, fantastic. I now know that BJ wants that type of property, but also know that BJ's got a crew, and he's going to put that crew on that house, and he's going to be in that house for 2 months remodeling it before he can put it on the market. And he's probably going to want to make at least 30,000. with an investment of 50,000. So everything has to come into those parameters before I say, all right, I'll bid on that house, because I don't want to wind up with a property that I can't turn quickly and be able to get our profit very, very fast so that we can give you your profit very, very fast.
So my question would be, so let's walk me through how this is. You're there, you're at the auction, you buy. Is a 10% return on the amount of money that is being used to purchase that?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
if it's for easy numbers, it's the $10,000, you're giving 10% on that 10,000 because that's what you use to purchase that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
If you give me 100,000, I'll give you 10 back.
Right.
Give me 3.
And then plus
I'll give you 30.
or does the 100, let's say it was 100 and you give the 10, so the 10's the profit, I take it. Does the 100 just still just sit into the account? Like if it's a proof of funds account and you can just reuse that 100, I'm assuming again and again?
On the next month. And then, okay, now next level. This is just one aspect of what we're doing. We also are sending out, let me reshare the screen again.
And then while you're doing that, is that 10%, is that a guaranteed return or is it, because I know you said that you're shooting for within 30 days. Is that when are you guys taking these from the auction and basically just turning around and selling them to flippers? I think I heard her say that in
Yes.
the beginning.
Yes,
Okay, so
exactly.
that's the whole deal. You have a pool of flippers that just don't want to spend the time going out and finding these. You're basically just finding and giving.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'm basically finding the property and then I'm reselling the property, and it's all wholesale.
Okay.
Okay. And so when I resell that property, but and the reason I'm saying 30 days, I'm buying that's a stretch. These properties will move a lot faster than 30 days. And let's just say you call me and you say, Shelby, look, man, I've had some things happen. I'm gonna have to get that. Have to get that 100,000 back, like tomorrow, and I need that. I need my profit of the 110, all in, right? Like pretty quick. Okay,
Uh-huh.
not a problem. I have hard money lenders. We've got millions of dollars with hard money lenders. The thing is hard money lenders aren't going to give us the cash to go buy the property at auction. They'll give me the money immediately as soon as I have it out of auction.
Right. Because you have something to collateralize it.
Exactly. All right. So,
Which we're taking the
like
risk of no collateral. Correct.
100%. We're taking all the risk.
yes, exactly. And that's why I'm reaching out to people that I know and people that know me and know my history, know what I can do, know the intelligence that we have behind properties. And that's also why I started an introduction with all the different checks and balances of what we're doing to research each property so that you know everything that we're doing. We're also wanting to give you, before we go to auction, here's the properties we're going to auction with, and these are the properties we're going to bid on, and this is why.
Okay, so how much are you guys looking to raise? And how
A
many people are
million.
you talking?
I want to be able to work within $1 million in every month.
Of access to $1 million.
Access to $1 million every
Okay.
month. Yes. That
How
will
many other
give us
people have you had conversations with in this regard?
several. We have our dentist is on board. Another gentleman that's in the same network we're in. Kind of show you guys how we got into this. First, I pulled this up. So next level, next thing we're doing that you can also invest in, that if you want to do this, we would not go to hard money lenders for it. We would go to you first so that you can make the money with it. What you see on the screen is what we are sending to probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, criminal attorneys, bondsmen, family law, IRS attorneys, funeral homes, Neptune Society, ministering angels, social workers at hospitals, probate attorneys. We're basically running. We're just getting this off the ground too. Now I'm super excited about this because every entity that I just mentioned, every person that sits down in front of them has some type of property that they need to relinquish. And so it's going to give us a large pool of leads to be able to make offers. I want to get us to the place where we're making 40 offers every day, if possible. 40 offers a week is our goal right now. And so pushing this out there so that our team, which we're paying 20% to, so our team makes 20% of the overall profits. If they've done the research and they have to research it to the place where it comes to our cash flow sheet. If it cash flows on our cash flow sheet, then it comes to me, and then I go out and do this listing for it. Anyway, not to give you too much information, but that opportunity is there as well. Plus, I'm knocking all the pre-foreclosure doors, actually going to the counties, going to the property itself, knocking on the door. Hey, here's my card. I'd love an opportunity to be able to buy your house. If that's the case, we can buy the house before it gets to auction. And so there's a lot of opportunity outside of the auction. But my main goal right now is to be able to have funds to go to the auction.
Right. So, how long have you been doing this? I know you said you just started this portion of it, but how long have you been doing this style of? I was briefly so when I was in the real estate world, the brokerage I was working for was they were out of basically doing the same thing, but they were a large conglomerate out of Utah, and they were buying up a bunch of houses here in Texas. And but their whole deal was they were also the flipper too. And so our job was to go door knock, get the houses, but then we held them longer and flipped them and did all of that. So you're just saying, I'm just really wanting to purchase and get this right back off my hands. I have no intention of holding it longer than I need to.
Yeah. So
Right?
as
That's
far as being the flipper, we Gina and I have a construction company called Texas Woodlands Contractors. We've done a lot of flipping, and our portfolio reveals all the different types of construction and different things that we've
right.
done. As far as the wholesale, I haven't wholesaled a one yet, but the potential. It's like I was saying just before you got on the call. The property at Schaefer Lane. Let me pull that back up for you. The property at Schaefer Lane. We had a contract on it. I had gone and knocked the door. I went and knocked the door. The customer, after I'd done the research that I'd shown you, figured out the comps on it, what the comps were. Then from our software that we have purchased to be able to do a lot of really cool research, I went and knocked the door. The customer then sent me about 40 pictures of the interior of the house. And then I got on Eagle View and looked at the Eagle View of it. We ran it through our spreadsheet. We ran it through our spreadsheet that basically we start out with what the rent's going to be. I've filled this out to make sure that we're going to be able to sell it for a certain profit.
Mm-hmm.
Put in all the the amount of money that's going to take to be able to operate this house to our end buyer. And then I drove back out after Mr. Kenneth Berry called me, and we signed contract with him for $140,000. We then went to Selene Mortgage, and they turned us down. They said, "Man, if you guys had been here a month ago and we'd had time to do this, then we would have made the deal." And so the process is for us to first knock the door in pre-foreclosure. If it doesn't, and I can't get to every one of them. I've been able to get to like 22 properties in 2 days after having conversations. And I can knock 50 doors in a certain neighborhood in a day. But to be able to have conversations with people, try to get people to understand what we're doing, I was able to get to, max about 20 properties in 2 days, especially if they're spread out how far they're spread out, things like that. And so we're not going to be able to buy every property with me knocking the doors. And this property sold, we were offering 140,000. I went and bid on it last Tuesday and it sold for 100,000. I stopped our bidding at 95,000 because that's where we are maxed at our own personal finances. Mm-hmm. So we ended it. I pulled out at 95,000. The gentleman bought it for 100,000. The spread on this house at 100,000 is 150 is the spread. Mm-hmm. So if somebody puts 50,000 into it, brings it up to par with where it needs a roof, interior remodeling, so on and so forth, they're able to make 60, 40, something in that range, depending on how much money they have to put into it, closing costs, all that good stuff.
What is your contingency if you don't have a flipper picking them up? Like
to secure you as our buyer, then and in this situation, because I'm asking you guys to do something that other hard money lenders aren't willing to do as private lenders. If it does not, if that 30-day mark comes and this house just hadn't gone and we still have it, I will go get the money from the hard money lender and get you your money back. But our aim is to move these properties within 10 to 14 days.
Right.
Don't the hard money lenders technically, though, if you haven't been able to sell it to a wholesaler, there's usually probably a reason that hard money lender isn't going to lend on it. Isn't that a possibility?
No,
because they're going to want to see your whole line of how quick they get. Because if there's 6 months, they're wanting you to rehab it, resell it, and within a reasonable time, or what they believe is reasonable.
Up to a year. So the hard money lenders will lend us money on just about anything, y'all. I mean,
yeah, what are they giving you as a rate? 12, 15%?
Yeah, 12% with 2 points.
Oh, wow. I need to be in the hard money lending.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. This is a golden opportunity for all of us because one, you guys don't have to think about it. It's just you're investing your money. And I'm telling you, I'm going to back the money to the place where you're going to get your 110 back on that 100. And if at anything, we have to just go get a hard money loan on the property. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you this: we will work our tails off to not have to go get that hard money, because then hard money turns into less profit on the property. But the profit margins on these properties are so huge. If I bought this house at 140, I just took $40,000. I just put $40,000 into the property that the guy that bought it at auction didn't have to spend. Mm-hmm. But even at 140, I would have been able to wholesale this for 160 within a few days, because that still left $90,000 on the table for mm-hmm. the flipper to put into it. The profit margins at the auctions are huge. And I don't, the risk is if I come to you and ask you, hey, this property, I bought it at 140. You guys want to buy it and flip it? That's more risk than if we buy it at 100 and I sell it at 140 on a wholesale deal, or 120 or 130 on a wholesale deal.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I don't want to be involved in the flipping aspect of it in
I
any
don't
way.
either. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of tool belts and knee pads
Yeah,
and
I
saws. And
don't. I guess my reservation would be one is how quickly do you think you're going to be able to raise this money, and then what is your minimum and maximum if you have one? I'm assuming you probably don't have
sure,
one. If someone wanted to give you $1 million, you'd take it from one person as opposed to 10. But what is
yeah,
your
look, a
realistic
100,000.
timeline?
I
A
think a
hundred.
100,000 is a good mark. A
So you
hundred
need
thousand. Huh?
you need nine more of us.
No, we can operate with we can buy a property with a
Yeah,
$100,000.
right. And then we can see what the hey, what you're saying is. I'm not saying, yeah, I don't know you from Adam, really, so I'm just saying, as far as you're asking for six figures, and six figures is like, hey, I will give you this return, but is that a handshake deal? Is that a like, hey, I've got these hard money lenders, it's a verbiage thing? Is that something we're actually going to write down
Yeah,
contractually saying,
absolutely. Yes, we'll
okay,
get it in a contract to you, and then so doing this, but I can't. It has to be like a blanket agreement, right? And because I don't know what properties, if I go to auction with five properties that I've given you, said these are the five properties we're working on this auction, and I couldn't like give you a contract on. I guess we could give you a contract on each one of them, but we'd have to just do like a blanket agreement, and that of A, B, and C, and one, two, three. But we can definitely get that together and then rediscuss.
okay. um Yeah, I gotta hop off here. But what I'd like is, if possible, is there a way that you could kind of type up a summarization of what we just spoke about, so that way I can
Absolutely.
just revisit it, really look into it in a little bit more depth, talk with Tanner, and kind of say, here's what I think, and then we can just regroup with you and kind of say, I think more than likely, if I'm going to move forward with it, it's going to be something where like, hey, we're going to test the water, see how this thing goes, sees like the smoothness. I'm assuming that there's a handful, if not more, of gentlemen and just like you
Yeah.
that are standing on the deals, and I'm assuming there's also plenty of property to be bought up. But I just this is a little bit different for me. This will be the first time that I've really kind of looked into the wholesaling side of it. So, and again, I know that I'm not really doing the work leg of it. But I just want to do my due diligence. So if you could send something over to me, or if you want to send it through Tanner, it doesn't matter. But that way I can just go back and kind of do a little bit more research. When are you looking to have? Obviously sooner than later, so you can start this process, I would assume. Is it
So the next auction is the first Tuesday of next month.
so? So it literally is just once a month they do on
It
the
is. It is.
auctions. Okay,
Yes, it's once a month,
gotcha.
and
And that's each county is all on the same day.
it's all on this, and that's kind of how they keep a strong arm on it. Is it is on the same day throughout the entire state of Texas
Nice.
in every county. So I met a gentleman. I know you got to go. Let me say this. It's kind of our ambition, so you know where our goal is. I met a gentleman.
Okay.
He's almost 80. He's been doing this for 20 years. He has two people per county, and all those people they pay $7,500 per person for him to teach them how to go and bid. And
Hmm.
then he uses investors' money to buy the properties, and then he pays them just a small percentage.
Right.
He buys about 30 properties a month,
That's
and
a pretty good little turnaround.
that's a crazy turnaround. And so the reason I said, Tanner, when you asked me, what's the specifics on this conversation, and I responded, it's an open conversation, guys. We want to grow,
Yeah.
and I also understand that you're busy. And if this is an opportunity for you to make 10% on your money every month, great. If you want to talk about maybe a stronger type of partnership, then let's do that as well. I just don't know what your time frames are. I know I get a lot of people offer me a lot of great things that I'm like, man, I just don't have time to do anything else. But if I can invest in it, let me know. You know,
Well, yeah. That's kind of, I mean, with my business, I'm under the water already. So for me, it would be, this is just something that I can park some money that has
yeah,
some type, but I just need to do a little bit more research into see, like, it sounds great and they all do. And I'm not questioning that you don't have the knowledge to make it work. It's just, I want to make sure from my standpoint that that's the best use of our money as far as, because, tying it up. I know you'd said like, hey, if I came to you and said, oh, my business needs that money, I need to pull out of it this month. Right now, all that sounds good, and I would hope that they would be that simplistic. But I would, again, that would all have to be written up and talked through and discussed prior, so that way none of these issues. Because you're right, what I want to do and what I'm looking to do is just to park money and then get my return off of it. And if it's returning well, that money is not going to move. I'll just allow something
yeah,
else. So I know you know that. So let's do this. If you'll shoot me an email with kind of a summarization, and then give me a week or so to kind of look through, do some research, talk with Tanner, and then let's just circle back, maybe like the week of the 19th.
okay,
And that should does that give you enough time? Like, if
sure,
obviously if we give you
absolutely.
the green light, then you should give you enough time before your next auction.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
perfect.
Yeah, and I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to waste anybody's time. I just see a golden opportunity to that I wish I'd have looked at years ago. I had several people come to me and say, "Man, you ought to go to the auction. As much as you know
Yeah.
about construction, go to the auction." And I wish we'd moved in that direction some years
I'm
back.
with
But
you. I've always
yeah,
heard the same thing. I just never just it just never took place. But um, I do appreciate your time. And like I said, if you want to shoot that through Tanner, then yeah, I'm assuming you have all of his contact info, or and
I'll
then he
get you
can
the
pass that
recording sent
along.
over to BJ. That way, if you want to look at the beginning, because I have a couple more questions for him that I think you'll
Uh,
want to know too, that you can review
yeah,
at the end.
okay,
yeah.
BJ, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you guys. I'll talk to you
All right,
later.
All
all
right,
right, sir.
Bobby.
All right.
All right, Shelby, real quick. So I got just a couple questions for you. Is how long if you need to buy a property for 300,000, let's say me and him only do 100, are you having to have multiple checks show up or pull out different accounts, or are you trying to get all the money into one account?
No, I have if it, let's say you give us $100,000, right?
Right,
Now, and transparently, I've already said we can only do so much. So
right.
then we're at a limited pool. The larger the pool grows, which I'm having more conversations throughout this next week, the larger the pool grows, the more availability we have to be able to take your money and put your money with somebody else's money, right? So if we're at a trustee sale and the property starts at 130,000, we're somewhat limited at that place. Let's say your brother comes in, you and your brother, and then our dentist, and then another gentleman, Greg. So we have 400,000. At 400,000, we're able to buy approximately 2 to 3 properties in a trustee sale.
Right. So I guess again though, if you have a property that you need to buy for 150,000, but we've only put 100 in, are you going to pull 50 from someone else and have them to show up with,
Yes. Yeah.
or are you just like, hey, we have to keep each account separate? Because now the reason I'm asking is from a accounting standpoint of keeping up with how much money is being used and then who are you prioritizing, right? Because if the dentist puts in 100, I put in 100, and you're buying it for 150, obviously I want to be the 100 because I want the bigger number, right? And I'm sure
I
the
get it.
dentist
I
wants
get
to
it.
be the
I know you're
100
hearing
because
that.
they want the bigger number. So
That's a good question.
logistically, this is where I'm wondering how you, yeah, how you're going to go about that as it, especially as it grows, if you get more investors or whatnot.
Okay, so the more yes, right. That's a great question, and honestly, I haven't thought that part right there through. Really, that's
At
a
least
good
you're
one.
honest.
No, that's a good one. I like that. Tanner, it's just going to come down to I don't know. I have give me some time to think about that. I don't want to
That's
try to
fine.
answer it until I have some time to consider it.
Yeah, no,
But
that's fine.
that's a great question.
Then the other question I had was how long are you wanting to do this? Is this a short term game for you as far as like, hey, I'm trying to bring enough money in so y'all can make enough so eventually you don't need the investors? Or are you like, hey, I want to do this for several years or as long as I can?
No, I want to do this for as long as we can.
Okay.
This isn't something that. So the example I gave you of Arnie, the 80-year-old guy, I want
Right.
to trump Arnie. That's the goal. When I heard he held up a map of the state of Texas, and he had so many counties in red where he works, and where he had two people bidding in each one of those counties. When he said he purchased 30 properties in 1 month, I did the math quickly in my head. He put 1 million in and pulled 3 million out.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think those are
I
kind of my only two main questions as far as that. Because, yeah, again, I think the biggest one that we'd have is just figuring out how to pull the money. Because, like BJ's saying, I think me and him would be on the same page. We put 100, 200, or whatever it is in, and 200 just keeps sitting there in an account.
yeah.
That's money we don't have invested. And that's the last thing I want is cash sitting in an account that's not getting used. It's again why I wanted to sell these houses. It's just, it's cash sitting. I don't,
Well,
it's anxiety to have it
to
sit
answer
there.
your first question, regarding, if there's other people that were involved as far as wanting the same property. So going to auction, you have to realize there may be a chance that we do not, somebody outbids us.
I already said that.
So we want to be able to have several properties that we may be bidding on with your money, in case one, we get outbidded by one or the other one,
Right.
or that it gets pulled right before the auction, which is a chance that happens as well. There's several options there that we want to at least be able to do, to be able to do as much as we can with the money that you have invested, when we go to auction.
Yeah. But your question is if the dentist is putting in seven, if the dentist puts in 100, you put in 100, the property's 170, who's using the 70? You want to be
Right.
able to be the one using the 100, not the 70. And I get that.
Right.
And that's, yeah, I understand. I understand. And it's I think it would probably come down to Tanner, our just to kind of try to answer it. It's like our sales staff. If I have a real aggressive salesperson that is out hustling, and I'm giving them the deals, that when the phone rings, I'm passing the deal to that person. But in this situation, if that money's there consistently, and it's dependable, it's loyal to not loyal, but that money's there and it's dependable money. Of course, we're going to honor that over, hey, I'll give you 100,000, but I can't do it next month.
Makes sense. I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's the game. What's easiest to get a hold of and has the most there most of the time, where you're not having to think about do I have it or do I not have it.
Right.
Man, if I have a, if that event, and that's, see, my heart's pounding right now because that's what I'm needing to make this flow, is that cash in hand. Because I've gone to these auctions for every month, and it's just like, wow, those properties are dropping off at the price of candy. And I already know that if I decided to keep one of them, the bank we could make on keeping them, but then I don't want to keep them because I
Right.
don't want to hold them, you know. And that's kind of where your cousin there, BJ, was saying that's a lot of headache to hold properties.
It is. I've done it. That was all the real estate I bought, was buy it pretty much trashed out, renovated it, and I didn't want to do a flip, so we did the kind of a year long flip, so we didn't have to pay the high interest on it all, or not the high interest. The capital gains on it were quite a bit less once you go
Yeah.
after that year. So we did that, held on to it, let the pay less in taxes, and then the property value went up enough that it was worth it at the time, but property doesn't jump 10 to 20,000 every year anymore. So holding it
Exactly.
really isn't
All that, that you
quite worth
just
it.
said is a whole bunch of headache. But
It
when
is a
it comes
headache.
down to where we started our conversation earlier with commercial properties, that makes a whole lot more sense to be able to go to one property that has 30 to 150 doors, be able to maintain that one property instead of 30 different properties all over, DFW and wherever
Right.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that answers most of mine. I'm sure I'll think of some others once me and BJ talk a little bit and see. I think most of our questions are going to come down to contractual stuff on what the contract says, wording, and then accounts
Okay.
and how it gets held. And then some of it will be between me and him in the back end on splitting profits and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, let me get with him. I know he's going to have questions about the wholesaling because my best friend did wholesaling for years and I was right there with her. So I have a fairly reasonable understanding of it. Um, and then whatever else he needs to look into. And yeah, man, we'll get back to you. But yeah, if you can send, like he said, just send over the video recording for today and then kind of a bullet point summary because I know he's very busy all the time with the company he has now. So
What's
most
he
of the
do?
interactions, I'm assuming, will probably go through me and I'll try to nutshell and summarize everything for him so he can keep moving and grooving.
What
Is
does
my
he
guess
do?
on how that's going to play out. He has a 1611 golf company, indoor golf. He has a
Oh,
couple
really?
of those throughout DFW. There's
Yeah, there's
Burleson.
one of them over here by me.
Yep. Yep. Burleson, Hewlin, and North Richland Hills. So that's
Oh,
his
that's
main thing that
awesome.
he's focused on with that. And
Yeah.
then he has some other stuff in the back burners and whatnot. But
Well,
yeah,
I
he's trying
just
to
live
all that.
right up the street from him. From that turn, I turn across that bridge right there. It's actually that used to be a Christian bookstore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the
Yes.
day, it did. But yeah, so if that's what he does, and like I said, he stays busy managing those three and personnel. His favorite thing to deal with is personnel.
People.
So,
People.
yes.
People.
So yeah, that's kind of my guess is how he's going to want it. He's not going to want to have to keep up with a whole bunch of stuff. He's going to want it in a nutshell. So if you can just send over some bullet points, highlights, and then
Gotcha.
the video for him with all of our details in case he wants to reference it, and then
Okay.
I'll get with him.
Okay. On it.
Cool. Awesome.
You
I
want me
appreciate
to?
it, Shelby.
All right. I appreciate you too, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye.